seconds.
All right, we can go live.
30 seconds. Haha, yes. 10 seconds. Good job, Miss Lady.
What's up, bro?
5, 4, 3. Stand by. Let's go.
Welcome. Greetings, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you're at the intersection. We've got a lot to talk about today to unpack people unaccounted for on a boat, which is pretty horrible. It seemed like there was a lot of killings this week yet again, and Trump refused to do anything.
Per usual.
I'm Senator Isidore Hall.
I'm Nikki Flores.
You're at the intersection live, and we are happy to announce that we want to give a shout out to Zoe Williams for his new Voice of Reason station right here at Dash Radio. We're broadcasting live here at the Dream Hotel in Hollywood, in Holly Compton. Hollywood. But anyway, we want to thank all of our listeners, our viewers, and our audience for your support over the years. And we want to give Zoe Williams, who's a phenomenal producer here at Dash, give him a congratulations for his new station, Voice of Reason. I think it's exceptional. He's going to do a phenomenal job. By the way, can I just say this? I have to say it, and I hope we don't have a lot of haters out there. But my mama's birthday is today, so I wanted to say happy birthday.
Birthday!
Listeners, happy on your mama's birthday. I know that. Go on and stop listening right now. And go on and see mama's birthday.
You know, I just want to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
She's been around the sun 76 times, and she's indeed she is my best friend and the apple of my eye. So I just want to a lot of folks don't have their mamas,
Sure.
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 And so I can't see you on our deal here. Looks like, yeah, there we go. A lot of people don't want to see Nikki right there.
Hey. Yeah, we gotta honor our mothers while they're here.
Right?
You
Yeah.
know?
Give them their roses.
Even if you don't get along, if you got a chance to make it right,
That's
try
right.
and do that while everybody's still alive. You
it's
can't do
never-
it when everybody's gone.
It's never too late, right?
Never too late.
It's never too late. I'll tell you what, I told my mom yesterday, and thank you guys for just giving me 2 minutes to talk about it. I told my mom yesterday, I said, Mom, I said, you need to just, we were discussing her birthday gift, and I said, Mom, you just need to stay in your lane and let me take care of my lane.
She was trying to tell you what she wanted?
Yeah. And then I said,
You want to surprise her?
and I said, you just need to pray, and if you pray, things will be all right. She said, son, you haven't told me about prayer. She said, the reason why who you are right now is I pray for you every day. I was like,
You had to tell her.
she said, did you hear what I just said? I said, that's why you're mother.
Happy birthday.
Here's that was just the crew. What else did she say about this rescue operation?
Yeah, and she went into a little bit more detail about how the crew escaped. She said that they were all awake, and when we talked before, this is what we were hearing from a number of people who were very close to this investigation, saying they were awake getting ready for breakfast when this fire happened. They called, they put in a mayday call saying that there was a fire engulfing the boat. They were all able to jump off to safety. They were actually rescued by Good Samaritans on another boat called, ironically enough, the Grape Escape. As far as the 34 people that are unaccounted for, the U.S. Coast Guard saying right now that this is still very much an active response effort, a search and rescue for them. They were in fact asleep below deck, all 34 of them passengers, when this fire did engulf this boat. We know that the boat has in fact sunk. Only part of it is still sticking out of the water a little bit, but there is this hope that some of those victims, if not all of them, are somewhere in the water. Of course, when we mentioned this earlier, as the search and rescue continues, the reason this isn't so easy is because of the fog that is here right now. This is about 30 miles off the coast where we are, all unfolding, helicopters, Coast Guard, Fire Department, and other Good Samaritan vessels trying to navigate through these very difficult conditions, poor visibility, trying to find any survivors. Again, though,
Yeah, so that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not good at all. How big was this boat?
It was a 60-foot boat. I think the Great Escape, the one that helped to rescue, I believe that was 75 feet long.
Okay.
So this is a pretty sizable boat.
Right. So like yacht size.
A yacht size, yeah. And it was 30 some odd, 34, 30
Yeah.
some odd folks on there, and they were sleeping underneath. You know, so by the time they were able to get up, you know, nothing happened. Now, I just went fishing, deep sea
Yeah, you
fishing.
went
Remember that?
Yeah.
And that was the same size boat. And I'm telling you, you get out there in that deep ocean, it's deep sea fishing. You get out there in that deep ocean, there's nothing around you. It's
Right.
just straight ocean. And
Right.
it was a blessing that there happened to have been a boat in close proximity. You know, I mean, think about it. You know, those 4 or 5 people could have potentially perished as well.
Yeah.
To be in a fire, trapped underneath, and can't come up, that is a very gruesome,
Yeah, it's
horrific experience on Labor Day. And the fact that there were, I think there was some 13 or 14-year-olds, 13 or 14-year-olds on there that had to endure such torture is beyond me.
Yeah. That's sad. Really sad.
You know, and I don't know. You know,
I hate to wonder.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
But you know, the saying that the captain goes down with the ship.
Yeah.
And how that's like, I mean, it's like a legal thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why.
For a captain, I don't know. But the
Thank
fact
you for
that
talking about that. I was thinking about
the
that.
only
Thank
5
you.
people who were rescued were crew. It's like their job to let other people know and to get them out, so that there was no crew and one person that they dragged out or crew. I mean, it could have for sure been that they couldn't pass through the fire or whatever it was to get anybody. It just really makes me sad.
That's what I love you.
And I hope that they did everything that they could in their power to make sure that the rest of those people, because they were in their charge, they were their responsibility.
That's why I love you.
So I hope that they did everything they did. I mean, I don't want to put nothing on them because they have to live with that if they didn't. But you know, I really hope that they did everything that they were supposed to.
Nikki, that's why I love you, because you always bring it. Look, I'm getting, because you always like, you know,
That's real.
That's real. I just don't know. And our team said it was 75 feet long, by the way.
Okay.
I just don't understand how they jumped. All of them jumped off. They could have, you know, they could have at least notified. The fire did not engulf at immediate.
Right. Somebody has to stay awake at all
Right,
times, right? They have
right.
rotating
Yeah,
shifts
that's
and,
correct.
I don't know. It must have caught fire very quickly and just engulfed the whole situation, and they were able to escape, and thank God for that. But I really hope they do find more of those passengers.
They jumped all 5 and escaped and went
To that boat.
to that boat.
Yeah.
You know, and in fact, all of the passengers, all of the staff on the boat is cured. I mean, they're fine. It's just the passengers and the poor teens or whatnot. So, hey, give us a call, 323-879-4445. Tell us what you think on this issue. Thanks for listening.
All 5 members of his family. The Limestone County Sheriff's Office says that shooting happened Monday night in Elkmont. That's about 30 miles northwest of Huntsville. Victims include 2 adults, 3 children. Officials say 1 adult and a child initially survived, but they died at area hospitals overnight. Police say a 14-year-old son called 911, initially said he was in the basement when he heard some shots, but later he admitted he did the shootings. Investigators are now looking for a 9mm handgun that was used in the shooting.
So it's like this is becoming a real issue again. We keep talking about it, right?
Yeah.
14-year-old whose tender mind is impressionable, and just as we are tired of hearing week after week after week after week of a mass shooting, we'll be talking about another one shortly. These young minds, they're impressionable.
Yeah. I feel like this issue of patricide with kids killing their parents and families, siblings, unfortunately, and how it's happened multiple times more and more in the news. I think personally it has a lot to do with lack of interpersonal connection,
Yeah.
even within families. People not spending enough time together, and everybody having their own things to do in their own corners.
Right.
And they might pass by each other, and you ride in the car together, but everybody's on their phone.
Yeah,
and their
man.
phones in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like nobody's interacting anymore.
Real
So
facts.
it's like, when your kid has an issue with you, they don't talk to you, and you don't talk to them, and they're kind of like
Facts.
figuring it out, and it just festers, and then they are like, well, I hate you, and then they like, well, what do I do when I
Right.
hate somebody? I can kill them. Like,
Right,
you know what I mean?
right,
Like,
right,
they're
right,
young, so
right,
I mean, they're
right.
going to the extremes, and they're
Right.
going to what they think will fix the problem, and of course, he's made a whole all kinds of problem for himself.
Right,
And he's
right,
lost his
right.
entire family, so
Yeah,
he's not
everybody's
in a good
gone.
position. It's not good for him. But he thought it was logical at the time because he was working on 14-year-old logic,
Right,
which
right.
isn't logical.
Which
Their
isn't
brains
logical.
are not fully developed.
Yeah, they're impressionable, and they see the drama in the communities too, right? And it's fun. They don't understand that your life is done. They don't even know what done is. They don't even have a perspective.
A finality.
Right? They don't understand that. They don't understand that. But it's fun. Bam, bam, bam. What the hell are you so angry for at 14 years old?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you so angry for? You didn't get some damn Cheerios?
At the same time, if that's your kid and your kid flips out about not getting Cheerios, you need to
Address
that
that
situation. Don't
issue.
get shot over Cheerios.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like same thing. Like you might think it's silly. It's really bothering. They might be getting bullied. You don't know. You gotta
Everybody
talk to
has a
your
voice.
kids. You got to talk to your kids.
Everybody has a voice.
And it's
Everybody
all
has a
relative.
voice.
You know what I mean? A baby not getting that bottle is everything.
Right. It is.
Everything to that.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah,
life
that's
and
life.
death.
Life and death. Literally life and death.
All you gotta do is hand it to
And
them.
believe that child. Believe that 13. Believe that 14-year-old. When they say I have a problem, believe that there is a problem.
And check in with
And
the kids
check
who
in.
don't say they have a
Absolutely.
problem. They're not always gonna tell you.
Absolutely, they're not
Really
going to always tell you.
unfortunate.
And I hear it all the time. I see it all the time where folks say, hey, I can't even talk to my 14, 15-year-old. We go to the restaurant and everything is quiet. The mom is on her phone, the dad's on his phone, the kids on. I've gone to restaurants, literally, and I've sat across from folks, and I say, man, that seems like a dysfunctional family.
Right?
Because the kids, like, hooked up on the iPhone and
I'm always thinking like, why didn't y'all just pick up food? And go home. Why you at the restaurant?
Right, on your phone. It's like, no, nothing's going on. Nothing's going on. Nobody talking about nothing.
I think about an hour to eat.
Man,
For
mom,
food.
shh, look here. We are eating together. We ain't doing no nonsense. All attention at the table in the family. You hear me? We ain't having no nonsense. Ain't bringing no toys. Ain't bringing no books. No, you bring it. You don't have no shoes, fine. But we ain't doing it. No, people are bringing Monopoly boards and backgaming and stuff to the table now. They're bringing Ataris and stuff, Nintendos.
Yeah. Playing the A-Track player.
Jesus
Walking
Christ.
around with your Walkman on. Cut that off.
The boom box, Hell, they even bring in the damn the bikes with the lights and
Right.
the steering wheel on it to the table now. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
They need to spend
All right.
time
That was
together,
bad.
families.
Jesus. Okay, I'm sorry. Did I go off?
Uh-huh. We gonna bring it back.
I'm sorry. But anyway, this is a sad situation, and this is a real situation, and it's one that is unfortunately left to the demise of the entire family. A 14-year-old misdirected. Don't know if it's misguided.
Yeah, I have no idea about misguided.
I think it's
I mean, unless
misdirected.
he was taught by somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really unfortunate, and now he's in the system. You know
Now
what I
he's
mean?
assistant. For life.
For life.
For
Ain't
life.
coming out of that.
For life. So we'll pray for him, and we'll pray for the family members of this individual, the ones who are living, that they may find some peace and solace in the situation.
Moments here just outside the main gates here behind me here along Snelling Avenue. That's a time when many were leaving the state fair, as you can imagine, causing panic as people were hearing those gunshots as they were leaving the state fair. Now, police say this all began when they responded to a pedestrian crash, finding a woman hit by a car on Snelling Avenue. Officers say a fight broke out shortly before she was hit. That woman is fighting for her life in critical condition at a local hospital. Now, shortly after that crash, police say several shots rang out nearby. Officers found a man with a gunshot wound. Police say 2 other men were shot. All 3 are expected to be okay. At this time, it is unclear if that crash and the shootings are connected. Now, we did speak with a mom and her 2 kids who witnessed everything as they were leaving the fair.
Yeah, there we go. That's the one. That's the one. If you recall, last week we were talking about a mass shooting. If you recall, the week before we were talking about a mass shooting. If you recall, the week before that we were talking about a mass shooting. In fact, every damn week we're talking about a mass shooting. And Congress is silent. Give us a call, 323-879-4445. Tell me why you think Congress is silent on an issue that is devastating our community. This is domestic terrorism at its best. People are losing lives, losing their families, and we're sitting silent in Washington, D.C. Do people care? Do people really care? That's the question. Do people really care? Do you think so?
Only when they feel like it affects them.
Yeah.
A fair should feel like it affects you.
A
It's just-
fair-
A park should feel like it affects you. A church, a mosque, a street, a school. I mean, we've had every location right now. Like everywhere you can have
Yeah, we've had every
any
location.
type of, mass shooting. There's been that at that location.
Every place is interesting, Nikki. Every place where one is expected to go for peace
Safety.
and safety, there has been a mass shooting. School, a place of refuge. Education, safety. Church, a place of refuge, solace, contentment, prayer, and redemption. You understand? A fair, where kids go to have fun and just be innocent and grab those unhealthy burritos that's stacked with bacon and chips and fries and all that.
We got a caller.
Let's go.
Hey, you're on the intersection. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Awesome.
Wow.
Thanks so much for calling, Bruce.
The problem that we have nowadays is white
For sure.
ones that help
That's right.
Agreed.
always been there helping.
Man,
Look at it. This isn't a black thing. This isn't a white thing. This isn't a Mexican thing.
that's right.
People want safety for their family.
That's right.
People want safety. People want it. The old saying, do whatever you want. I don't care what your policy is.
Right.
If you're against my politics, then you're the problem.
That's right.
All of us working together. And that's what we need to see more of. All of us working together.
That's right.
And I was just so proud to hear you on
Wow.
line on this one.
Man, Oh man, let's do it.
All of us getting throw the color away.
That's right.
We are a rainbow. All
That's right. You always said that.
Wait, I got 4 We can keep talking, and we can do something, put something behind our voices. Put it behind our voices.
That's right.
And walk that walk.
That's right.
When you always walk the walk.
Man.
That's why I had to
Thank you, man. I'm so
Thank you
I'm
so much, Bruce, for calling.
honored that you did, brother. I miss you. We got to get together. It's been a long time, brother. Thanks for calling in. Thank you. Love you too, brother.
Take care.
This guy here is a stellar individual. Corporate VP, not the chain of UPS. I mean, he is like exec. And he puts his money where his mouth is. That's why I'm so honored that he called. This guy volunteers. He donates thousands of dollars to the police athletic league and to the police mentor program and to one of the state colleges in Long Beach, their volleyball team. He sponsors teams. He sponsors their travel. Hundreds of thousands of dollars this guy has raised, and he has never seen a color. He really hasn't. And so I'm laughing because this is real talk. We don't see too many people like this, unfortunately. And to his point, it's a color thing all the time. It's this, that, and the other. No, it's not a color thing. You know, he's a white man with tattoos all over, you know, semi-conservative, but he does not care. He goes into the hood and gets work done. He's unapologetic about his philanthropy, and we need more people like that guy. Anyway, thank you for calling in. Give us a call, 323-879-4445.
This is The Intersection on Dash Talk X
with Senator Isidore Hall and Nikki Flores.
We must seek real bipartisan solutions. We have to do that in a bipartisan manner that will truly make America safer and better for all. First, we must do a better job of identifying and acting on early warning signs. I am directing the Department of Justice to work in partnership with local, state, and federal agencies, as well as social media companies, to develop tools that can detect mass shooters before they strike. As an example, the monster in the Parkland High School in Florida had many red flags against him, and yet nobody took decisive action. Nobody did anything. Why not? Second, we must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace. It is too easy today for troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture that celebrates violence. We must stop or substantially reduce this, and it has to begin immediately. Cultural change is hard, but each of us can choose to build a culture that celebrates the inherent worth and dignity of every human life. That's what we have to do. Third, we must reform our mental health laws to better identify mentally disturbed individuals who may commit acts of violence, and make sure those people not only get treatment, but when necessary, involuntary confinement. Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger, not the gun. Fourth, we must make sure that those judged to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms.
I'm good. I can't listen anymore. You know, it's interesting. By the way, follow us on The Intersection Live on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on The Intersection Live on YouTube channel. It's interesting that whenever he's talking about something that he passionately believes in, he doesn't need a talking point. He don't need talking points. He don't need a prompter. But whenever he's BSing you, he needs talking points.
It's only when he decides that he wants to sound like a president.
Exactly.
At
Right.
that moment.
Right.
And it don't work.
It don't.
It's fine. Well, it does for some. They're always like, well, he said the right. Like, you know, he don't believe that, right?
Right.
Like, does that matter to you?
I'm-
Him reading something off a paper, it's not what he really believes.
He
does
does
that
not
matter?
believe
And he doesn't even
it.
care enough to make us believe he believes
That's
it.
right. He doesn't. He doesn't care.
He ain't never gave a damn.
He doesn't.
It
care.
doesn't. It doesn't affect him.
No, it does not. And
He's looking for all kinds of scapegoats.
Absolutely. We need to have early warning signs. We need to have social media detection. We need to stop glorification of violent video games. We need a culture change. Oh, dog whistle.
Yeah.
We need a culture change. Oh, dog. We need to combine mental health and hatred together. What is that? We need to combine. When do you put mental health, illness, and hatred in the same sentence to compare a group?
Yeah.
Mentally ill has nothing to do with hatred to justify the trigger being pulled.
Right.
I mean,
and then he said the one guy, he's like, oh, and we need to talk to social media companies because, you know, there were some early warning signs on the one kids. And, well, it's not illegal to hate. So, you know, unless you legalize hatred and racism, which there are ways to do, by the way,
Yeah.
that could protect people. I mean, you can think what you want, but once it goes outside of, you know, touching and affecting people's lives, then
Right.
that should be illegal.
Facts.
But he's talking about, you know, where were the warning signs and social media should have been. Social media would have flagged you so hard, President Trump.
I was getting ready to say it. Preach, Nikki.
I mean, come on. Like, he looks like a red flag himself. He
Jeez.
did a kill the country over. Like, that's for him. From what I
Preach.
can tell, he hates me and everybody I know.
Preach.
Just saying, like, you would get flagged, sir. And what about your bad diet? That's got your brain all jacked up. That's a lot of things.
Nikki K locked and loaded, no pun intended. I mean, early warning signs on social media. That what do you mean when you basically call people fat and you tell people that they're from shithole countries and all stuff like that? Are those symbols of early examples of early warning signs? I'm just curious.
He's silly. None of this
I'm just
matters.
curious.
None of what he's saying
I'm not
matters.
assuming.
He's gonna
Just
keep
saying.
acting how he's acting. The same, you know, like your parents tell you do as I say and not as I do, and
right.
then that child grows
Right,
up and
right.
does as you do because
Right.
they learn that
They
from
learn
you.
that.
There's no
They
stopping
learn
that.
that. They
It's
learn
learned
that.
behavior. So you can be like, oh, just do what I say and not what I do. If you, the president, you out here tweeting crazy, why
Come
wouldn't
on,
I?
man.
Why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't I? And you seem as if you're the eighth alpha dog personality in the house, and you govern yourself accordingly. Of course, they're going to listen and follow your lead on that. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
So we're going to see this really hasn't changed anything.
President Trump says he's committed to working with Congress on ways to prevent mass shootings, but would not say what, if any, gun reform he would actually back.
Mr. President, on gun control, are there any specific gun control measures you will support?
Yeah, we're looking at the same things. We're in the process of dealing with Democrats, Republicans. They've been working very hard on it.
After the El Paso and Dayton shootings that killed 31 people last month, Mr. Trump said he wanted tougher gun laws.
But we have to have meaningful background checks.
But after several discussions with the NRA, the president now says this.
For the most part, as strong as you make your background checks, they would not have stopped any of it. So it's a big problem. It's a big problem.
Yeah. As strong as you make the background checks, it would not have stopped anything.
See, this is the argument that I can't stand from anybody who don't want any kind of gun control or reform or any adjustments even.
Yeah.
Not trying to take your guns
Just-
away.
just a tweak.
any adjustments for any kind of safety. Well, that wouldn't have fixed this one and that would have got around that. Well, like, yeah, you can't stop every killing. You can't stop every horrible thing. But if there's ways that we can shore it up in some ways
Right.
and have less people dying, then
Right.
why wouldn't we want to at least try them? We can put it on the books for a set of years.
Come
We can
on,
be
man.
like, have a year of this and try it
Yeah.
out. And if it doesn't work, we come back
It's
and
called
we
a
do it again.
sunset.
Like, it happens in government. I know it's a thing.
It's called a sunset. That's what it's called. A sunset. It has a sunset date, right? So you pass legislation. I've done this hundreds and thousands of times. You don't know if it's going to work. It sounds like it's a great idea. You don't want it for a law in perpetuity. So what do? You say we're going to do it for 2 years, and then it sunsets. That means it stops. In order for it to continue, it has to come back to the body, and the body votes to extend the term that the law will be applicable.
Right.
It's called a sunset.
That's how government works.
That's how government
give us
works.
a chance to vote on it and decide if we like
it's very
it.
simple.
We do it again. Like, I don't understand well, I do understand why, because he's in the NRA's pocket. All this, he has no real plans on any real gun reform, and he started parroting their phrases directly after talking to them, talking about, well, because it's the slippery slope.
Right.
You're the president. You can make sure that the Second Amendment doesn't go away while you're around.
Right. Well, so
just do that for your people. And also protect the rest of us.
Thank you. The National Republican Association, the NRA, does not. I'm sorry. National Rifle Association. Did I say that? Did you catch it? You got it? The National Republican Association. He's in the pocket of the National Republican Association. Period. Okay? to your point. Okay? And that's exactly who twiddles his fantasy. And that's why he's not doing anything. How dare? First of all, he says the Republicans and the Democrats are working together. No, the Republicans are not working with the Democrats on this. That's a misnomer. That's an absolute lie. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have both said that the Republicans are not coming together to talk about the issue. In fact, they're trying to press Mitch McConnell to bring some legislation to the U.S. Senate. He would not even bring the discussion to the floor. So there is no work between the Republicans and the Democrats, and that's unfortunate. But that's a lie he's telling you. That's a lie. That's a flagrant lie that he's telling you. And by the way, it's not right because he's still putting people in harm's way. Give us a call, 323-879-4445. Also, we're broadcasting live on the Voice of Reason station on Dash Dream at Dash Dream Studio. We want to thank you guys for listening. You're at the intersection.
You're listening to The Intersection with Senator Isidore Hall and Nikki Flores on Dash Talk X.
A dying woman's heartbreaking call to 911 as raging floodwaters have filled her SUV in Arkansas. The aftermath captured on police body cam. The 911 dispatcher under fire for the disturbing responses she gave. Deborah Stevens.
I'm scared. I've never had anything like this happen to me before. Well, this will teach you next time. Don't drive in the water. I don't see how you didn't see it. You had to go right over it.
Stevens ultimately drowned, despite frantic efforts, officials say, by first responders to find her. Police describing the operator's response as calloused and uncaring at times.
I completely understand the disgust. We would all hope that we would get a little bit better response.
At one point, Stevens was getting frantic and got this response.
These people are out, they can all see me, they're all standing out, they want to know. Miss Debbie, you're going to have to shut up, okay? I need you to listen to me.
Tom, that dispatcher had resigned and was actually working her last shift at the time of the call. Police do not believe she committed any crimes. Tom?
Yeah, they might not believe she committed any crimes. I sure do believe she committed a crime against humanity. What kind of
It is a crime against humanity.
Also, don't show up on your last day.
No, she came on her last day saying, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm about to wreak havoc. Wait, what did you say she said?
Listen, because in radio, my old boss taught me this in radio. So, you got a job where you have to interface, what I mean? So, and if you're getting fired or, leaving or whatever on your last day, you're scheduled to work, but you're going to come in and he's going to be like, I have to work today, and I appreciate it.
That's
because
right.
he don't want you to get on there and,
I'm
leaving today and F this place and I don't even really care and all of that, you know what I mean? So, you think you're working, but you're not, and then you're not prepared and you can't do anything, you know what I mean? I can't believe her.
Wait a minute. What did she say, Banks?
Fuck you. Really fuck you.
You boo.
You can die today, but it's all good.
I mean, it's funny, but also this is a dying woman's last conversation.
We're not making fodder.
Like, you know,
right. Yeah.
I mean, that's rough.
It is rough, and it's
not your job to tell people that they fucked up and got in a fucked up situation, and now you gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, who are you?
Right.
I can't stand this lady.
Right.
Well, you shouldn't have drove in the water in the
First
first
of
place.
all,
I
you
don't see how you blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Ugh.
First of all, you're stupid. First of all, you're an idiot. You shouldn't have drove. You know, you shouldn't have drove, quote unquote. You shouldn't have drove in the water. You know what? You're gonna have to shut up.
Man.
Who says that? I'm in a effed up situation. I'm losing my life, and you're telling me to shut up, and you're telling me to be quiet. You're telling me what I should. I know I should not have driven in this situation. Hell, I'm drowning. You know.
She should have passed the phone off to somebody else.
Jesus. And I think she
was like annoyed. You know.
Yeah.
Don't do that job.
I don't believe that, you know, just saying that people should be brought up on stuff, but I believe that this was a crime. And you know what? Her banter back and forth probably lost this woman at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what she.
And that's 5 minutes
busy
of support.
trying to tell her off instead of telling her.
That's my point. Lost her 5 minutes. And then when you're in that kind of situation at that time, every second counts.
Every second, for sure.
She probably could have lost. She probably could have been saved had this woman lost the banter back and forth with her.
That's
I
all
don't
right.
know.
She got some crazy karma coming her way.
Yeah, she does. Follow us on the Intersection Live on YouTube show.
Right, Tom. Her name is Madeline Westerhout, and she's been the president's chief gatekeeper here at the White House. She actually sits right outside the Oval Office, but she was forced out after the president learned that she was sharing potentially embarrassing details about the Trump family during an off-the-record dinner with reporters. Now, moments ago, the president told me that he just got off the phone with Westerhout and that the president said she was having a bad night drinking, and you just don't say those things that she said.
She's out of town. You don't.
Aww.
No, that's a lie. You're lying. You're leaking. You're leaking. He's leaking. He's leaking. He's leaking. He's lying. Let me tell you something. Everybody know. Now, I've had a couple glasses of wine here and there. You know, had a couple glasses of wine, have a glass of wine here. I go out to a fine dine. You know, bring me out a nice Camus. You know, go somewhere else. You know, bring me out. You know, nice wine. You know. Nikki's like, wrap this up with me. But let me say this. I know that, you know, if you have 2 glasses of wine, you know, you get a little relaxed. And you know what they say. When you get relaxed, you start telling the truth. His his secretary, personal assistant, had a couple glasses of wine. She got loose. And she started telling the truth. The problem is that she was telling the truth and basically was saying that Trump don't like one of his daughters, and you know his family is effed up and all this other kind of stuff. And Trump got upset about it because she got loose because she started telling the truth. You know, have you ever been around someone who's been drunk in your life? Has anybody?
Yes.
Yeah. I have. You know, and have you noticed that Uncle Bob and Uncle Tom, you know, and Uncle Momo, you know, when they get a little inebriated, they start saying stuff that you never thought they'd say. You know, you know it's the truth, but why would you say that? You know? They start telling you about yourself and your mama, your daddy, your cousins, you know, and then they start crying, you hurt me, and, you know, they start pulling out the stuff. That's what she did. She got drunk, she started telling the truth. She got drunk, she started telling the truth. You know, and then the reporters poured on it, got back to Trump that the truth was told, because Trump don't like the truth, you know, got the truth, and he pulled the plug. Of course he fired somebody for telling the truth. Of course. Are you surprised? Is anybody surprised? Are you surprised that Trump fired his secretary for telling the truth?
He had the UK ambassador?
Yes.
He doesn't even work for the government here.
Right.
And he got fired
Right.
for talking truth about Trump. He ain't barely even say nothing.
Right.
That's why you like that man. And he was like, what? Fired? Like, okay, so he continues with firing people for talking bad about him.
Talking the truth. Speaking the truth.
Speaking the truth.
Speaking the truth. You know what? If speaking the truth is going to get me fired, then I'm going to be fired. Because I'm going to tell the truth. You know, because truth and integrity are twins. Okay? Truth and integrity are twins. I will not lose my integrity for the sake of an employee. I just will not do that. Never have, never will. As a matter of fact, as an elected, I tell the truth even when it hurt. You know, even when it hurt. You know, Miss Johnson comes up and she says, I say, Miss Johnson, you're wrong. Okay? I know you voted for me, but baby, you're wrong. Okay? Have a seat. Let's have a cup of coffee and let's just discuss your wrongness. Okay? Oh, yes. 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 I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I will tell. Now, Nikki's the same way. You know, Nikki don't mind checking. You know, if you ain't been checked by Nikki, then you ain't nobody.
Or you ain't stepped out of
Oh, you ain't stepped out. You know, she'll love you if she ain't checking you. I've been checked. All right, sorry about that. Oh God.
Section on Dash Talk X
with Senator Isidore Hall and Nikki Flores.
The new Popeyes chicken sandwich is surprisingly sold out almost everywhere. Okay, so earlier this month, Popeyes started selling their brand new chicken sandwich, which naturally started a fried chicken war with Chick-fil-A. I mean, just look at these passive-aggressive signs that 2 Houston locations put up. I wasn't kidding. This meant war. Anyways, Popeyes fans were super gung-ho about this new sandwich to the point of them selling out everywhere. Like, people were even selling them on eBay. Desperate times call for desperate measures. You may say it's insane, but ask me if I'd buy a chicken sandwich off eBay around lunchtime, and my answer may surprise you. Though the sandwich is almost impossible to get at the moment, Popeyes did reassure their customers that it will be back. In fact, if you're super committed, you can download their app right now and check to see if the sandwiches are back in stock at a location near you.
Yeah, I'm pescatarian, okay? I'm not pescatarian, but I'm pescatarian. Okay, so I don't eat that anyway, but I might just have to ask God's forgiveness to see what this hype is all about. Somebody told me, I ain't saying nothing, but somebody told me, they said, Isidore, you see these long lines out at Popeyes? I said, absolutely. I see all these long lines at Popeyes. They say 3 years ago, you hear one of these commercials says, if you've ever eaten that sandwich at Popeyes, you may have suffered from mesothelioma, whatever. What is that? Mesothelioma?
You can't give no mesothelioma.
Mesothelioma.
You mean salmonella or something?
I don't know what they're talking about.
Mesothelioma is like asbestos.
What?
It's like construction workers breathing in fiberglass. I think that's mesothelioma. I'm not sure.
These people are running to this Popeyes chicken like they're at a crack house. Everybody, have you seen these lines driving down the street? My mom and I went to a play the other day. We're coming home. I'm taking her to the house, driving down the bread. There's a Popeye. I said, Mama, she said, these people are wrapped around these places. She says, no way in heaven I'd sit there and in that line for 3 hours. I'm gonna tell you, one of my friends, my friend Chris Brown, he told me, he said, let me tell you what I did. I'm not asking for nobody else to do this, so you guys chill out. I'm just telling you what my friend Chris Brown told me. He says, hey, I went up, it was a long line, it was simple to me. I went up to the next person in line and said, hey, I'm buying everybody, first 5 folks, chicken sandwiches. You guys, you want one? You want one? You want one? You want? They said yes. Get 6. He was in and out in 2 minutes. Got a chicken sandwich. 5. Saved 2 hours.
Nice.
Dope. You got some extra coin? Go buy 5 people a chicken sandwich. You get yours in a matter of a minute. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think. This is a thinking man's game, a thinking woman's game for Nikki, right?
I'm gonna go ahead and get that second round. I'm not a fight the line.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a free Slurpee at the end of that line. It's gotta be 7-11 day. It's gotta be, it's gotta be a Tuesday at Popeyes.
Right.
We're trying to get that cheap deal. Something like that. It makes sense. But
I ain't standing no line for 2 hours. You like chicken nut.
But I'm not gonna fight for it.
Niggas like, I ain't fighting for no chicken now. I might fight for a rib. I ain't fighting for no chicken. I'll fight for some hog maw. Chitlin. I ain't fighting no chicken. Follow us on the Intersection Live on our YouTube station. Also, we want to give a shout out to Brother Zoe, right, Nikki?
Yep.
Because of the Voice of Reason station, right?
Yep, on Dash Talk X.
Yeah, man. We're so excited about it. Congratulations, Zoe Williams. Good luck on that station. I know you're going to do well. We're honored to be part of it, and thank you for letting us be part of the team.
I started doing pretty heavy drugs at 19 and abused all of my relationships. I became resentful, disrespectful to women, and angry. I became distant to everyone who loved me. I felt like I could never turn it around.
He was a young guy. He had tremendous fame. He was pigeonholed as a goody two-shoes teen star. And then he grew up. And, I know a lot of 19-year-olds who misbehave. He happened to be Justin Bieber.
The superstar now saying he's in a better place, married to Hailey Baldwin, with years of what he calls terrible decisions and broken relationships behind him.
And Justin adding at the end of...
Yeah, I mean, hey, look. I admire the guy, right?
Good for you.
That's check.
Bieber. Good for you, Bieber.
Check. You don't like the guy?
He's alright.
The reason why I'm saying that, I'm not a Bieber
I'm
fanatic.
all for him coming around and being like I was wrong when I was wrong.
That's
great.
Yeah, I'm not a Bieber. I don't go to the concerts. I'm not a fan. I don't think
Not a believer?
I'm not a believer. I'm not like that. I've never heard that like that. I don't think I'm following unless one of my team members just follow on my social media. I don't know. I don't think I'm following. I have no reason to be following him.
We can follow the Biebs.
But I appreciate where he was, where he is in his life right now.
Yeah.
No,
he's growing up. It's just,
Yeah.
part of growing up is not telling everybody about it. But
yeah,
also, if
that's
he thinks
true.
this is going to help some people, then
That's
that's worth it. I appreciate that he went away and took some time.
Yeah.
He's taking some time. He's trying to grow up and be like out of the public eye, because I think that was where a
Moment
lot of
meditation.
his problems came
Yeah,
from, and it
yeah.
was hard for him to deal with. And,
True.
and he also had people coming and trying to use him.
Yes.
And that's when he really got messed up. And when he was having all those parties and
Yeah.
people using his
Cars,
house.
his
All the
house,
neighbors
parties.
was like, everybody's trying to deport him back to
Speeding up and
Canada.
down the street.
Yeah, he was doing the most. So, I mean,
You know?
I'm glad that he's stable. He's also, like, in the church now.
Yeah.
And, they got married and all that kind of stuff. So, it sounds like good things. Good for Biggs.
And let me say, when you are in celebrity at 15, 16 years old, you have millions and millions of people following you and raving over you. You get consumed by that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you fall victim to that.
Especially if you don't come with a team.
Exactly.
A parent.
A real
or
team.
Your parents.
Yeah.
Or, somebody there
Yeah.
to watch over
That's
you.
correct. And then there's the drugs, and then there's the entertainment. Like, it was entertaining late night 3 in the morning at 16, 17. The guy never had the struggle that he's having right now is that he's having the struggle that Michael Jackson had, where he never was allowed to be a child.
Right.
And he's trying to find his childhood as an adult, and those years are gone. And so he's suffering. He said he almost committed suicide. He went through all that other kind of stuff, because he's trying to chase something that he's lost that he's never going to get back. That's why it's so important for children to have that child experience and not to grow up too soon, because when they get there, they're going to regret that they never had an experience that they were without. And so for that reason, I pray for him, but I also feel for him as he goes through the struggle. And I understand why he is who he is right now, because of he's been neglected early on his child life, and as a result now he's acting out. And thank God he's gotten healing. Thank God he has a wife, his person next, his significant next to him, that's bringing him a sense of cure, I think, right? Is that fair? Yeah. Yeah, a sense of cure. So, I commend you, Bieber, for your willingness to talk about it. And they also say that in order to heal, sometimes you got to talk about it.
I do appreciate him talking about drug abuse as a negative,
right?
Not as a positive.
right.
So that's important,
right.
But there are some of those voices as well.
Absolutely.
They crashed through this fence along Mulholland Highway, rolled about 30 feet down an embankment. They survived. Kevin Hart was rushed to Dignity Health Northridge Hospital. His wife told TMZ he is doing great after surgery. CHP said Hart and his friend Jared Black suffered serious back injuries in this accident in Calabasas. Black was brought here to Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. His father told me he would undergo surgery here as well. Both seriously injured in this early morning wreck. CHP says Black was driving Hart's car, a 1970 Plymouth Barracuda. It was Hart's birthday present to himself to celebrate turning 40 in July.
Well,
Jesus.
Thank God they're alive.
Thank
God they're alive.
So.
His wife says she's doing great.
Yes.
So, I'm looking forward to the comedy special where we get to hear about this. So he can tell us about how the car was flipping and he was like, oh no, oh my God.
I like that part a lot. But I just want to know, I'm going to ask him this when I see him. I just want to know, I have some unreadness. I'm going to ask him this, and this is going to be a joke, I'm sure, but when everybody else was calling 911, how did you manage to call your security detail at the house now to come pick you up? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just want to know, like, why didn't he just call 911? Because, I don't know. I mean, it was a life-threatening situation, and the people, your boys, were like trapped in the car, and he left and went home. So I just want to know, like, what happened.
Like he left the scene before the other guy was there?
Yeah. His people came, security came in, took him to the house, and then they took him to the hospital and stuff, and those kind of things. So, just those small little things. That's it. I love him. I'm so happy he's
whatever kind of drama he's had, his manager told him, you call me first.
That's exactly right.
You call me first, and I'll call 911.
Yeah, I love it. That's right. I just want to know, but I know one thing, my heart dropped to my stomach when I heard. I was like, when he was in the hospital, I was like, God, please don't let another one of our exemplars, die, please. Because they're dropping like crazy right now, and so thank God that he is healed, and I pray for recovery. I pray for his family. I just hope that he's okay. And I also pray for the other two that were in the, what's the name of the other guy that was in the wreck?
Mr. Black.
Yeah. I hear about Kevin being okay. I'm not hearing about the other guy. Do we know anything about what's going on with him, the one that was trapped in the front seat? Because I'm not hearing anything about him. I know that Kevin's okay, and thank God he is. Thank God.
I thought they only mentioned 2 people.
It was 3 people in the car. It was the wife of the girlfriend of Black, whatever that guy's name is, the guy and Kevin. It was 3 people in the car. The girl that was in the car is fine. It was the other 2, Kevin and the other guy, that was in grave condition. Our friend Kevin has recovered. I was just wondering about the other guy.
Yeah, they both have serious injuries, and Kevin went through surgery, but
Yeah.
they're both, they're getting the treatment that they need.
Good. All right, listen, follow us on YouTube right now. Before you log off, follow us on YouTube, The Intersection Live. Again, thank you, Zoe. Congratulations for Voice of Reason Station on that stream, right?
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Big business.
Big business. Hey, you're at the intersection. I'm Senator Isidore Hall.
Nikki Flores.
We'll see you this time, same time, next time, right here on the intersection. God bless you. Be nice to people. We're out.